Right, hello everyone, good evening. It's Sunday night, we're here with HRF1 for round 8 of the season at Hungary. I'm sure none of you are hungry, I expect you've all had a big roast dinner or something today. Although it's been a bit warm, so maybe not. Get into the stream myself, and there we go. There I am. Good evening, Coxie. And yeah, he's back. Oh dear, Wales back. Wales back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Right, that's enough of that. Massey, thank you ever so much, my friend. You legend. Massey has officially reached legendary status as if he wasn't already. Hey, Checo. I'm also stood here, by the way. I've got a controller in hand, so I can walk around the room because there's a fly that's been annoying the hell out of me, and I've got an electrified tennis racket, and I got him. Yes. There's an electrified fly. I don't know where he went though. I'll vacuum him up in the morning. Right. It's incredible, you know. Well, I was horrific at tennis at school. I could not play tennis at all. But I'll tell you what, hitting flies with an electrified tennis racket, I'm awesome. No one's beating me at that sport. How's my battery on my controller doing? It could be better. Let's do a quick change, shall we? Before we start. There we go, I'm back. Right, Whale for pole. Big prediction coming in from Whale. I'll tell you what, Whale. If you get pole, I don't know. I don't know how to finish that sentence. If you get pole, I don't know. You can send me something you want me to do. Marcy last the first challenge Jardinho for pole unless he bins it. Lol. Yeah, he's been a nippy one recently, hasn't he, Marcy? Yeah, Chaldinho's been quick recently. Well, he's really on form. Motivate. Yeah, no, I'm not. I know, because I know where you want me to go with it, and we're live on stream, and I'm not going to go there. Sure, your imagination. Yeah. Give it to me. Come on. Yeah. That's exactly what I'll be doing. Oh no. See what happens. See what happens. See what happens. You're such a bad influence. Such a bad influence, Well. It's unbelievable. It's little old innocent me, and you're such a bad influence on me. I lost a viewer then. Uh, right. Here we go then. Hungary. It is Hungara Ring in Hungary. We got an 18-minute short qualifying session, followed by 50% race, and it is chucking it down. Absolutely chucking it down. Wow. We got 17 on grid at the moment. I know we had 18, so whether we got somebody joining in quali or whether somebody's not turned up, I'm not sure. But I don't know. I don't know. Well, just go to the bathroom and sort yourself out. Splash some water on your face. Cold water helps. You can see the drivers are on the full wets. And no surprise there from the pictures that we could see. Who's that that's heading out? There's a Merc. That's the Merc of Massey. The Massey Merc. How have I not managed that one before tonight? Massey Merc. It's Massey's Massive Merc. Oh my god, that's a mouthful. Massey's Massive Merc. There you go. The MMM. Massey's Massive Merc. So, first out on track in a way was Gunnar in the Vomit Aston. Right then, here we go. Well, almost everybody getting out of track now. There's only 4 drivers left in the pit still. There was one driver that's actually put inters on a second ago, just to almost as if they were trying to confuse the commentator. It doesn't work. I can see the puddles. We know it's too wet. So Gunnar then, it's, you could get a real sense of it now. Just how wet it is. As I say, you can see the puddles, which is on the game always the really good indication that it's too wet for intermediates, but you actually see the standing water on the track especially. That's 2 and 1. See what Gunnar can do to get us started. I'm not in these conditions. I'm not too sure what we're heading towards. Maybe a 130, something like that. I'm not massively sure. I'm just thinking of where the times. Pole time in the dry is usually somewhere in the 115s, so 15 seconds longer for full wets sounds about right. Maybe a little bit less because it's only a 1 minute 15 track, so it's not a long track. I won't say it's short, but it's not long, somewhere in the middle. Driver's circuits, right? You've got to love it. If you don't love the Hungaroring as a driver, there's something wrong with you. Because it is quite literally the driver's circuit. The McLaren gets nicely out of the way there. With Checo on the out lap. And then come up to the penultimate corner. Obviously finding the feet this early on, so he is using energy this lap, which surprised me a little bit. I like to do a lap or two with no energy, so I can find where the grip is first. But moving straight on with it, and he heads to the line, so we're over 130, so 131.7. And then there's Massey. Oh, he jumps up just before I could get to him, so 126 from Massey. Chardinho 155 through sector 2. My gear here, so he's getting the penultimate corner, around about the same as Gunnar was, actually. A few more times coming on the board now. Gaza with 33.7, Craig 33.8. Chris has done a 45.1, so presumably a mistake on that one. 32.4 from Coxty. Chardinho though, 31.8, so very similar to Gunnar. Here we go, the Alfa Romeo X11. Hi boys. Oh, just a brilliant track, mate. Absolutely brilliant track. I was just saying a moment ago, if any drivers say they don't like this track, I question whether they really like driving or not, because it's the epitome of a driver's track, this is. Chip Van on his way round. Then by previous times we've seen, I think he's on about a 134 here. Ish. Seeing into 12th. Guns then, so there we go, 134.5, gets into P12. Check out the final corner. Just going to get out of the way of Gunnar and Rom when he was on his outlap. 1:34.6 from Checo, puts him into P13, just ahead of his McLaren teammate. Monsters is just started a lap. Down turn 3. So pretty much turn 1 and turn 3 are where you're most likely to see the overtakes around here. There's other little opportunities around the track, but they're very difficult. It's a very tight track. It's quite Monaco-esque actually. Obviously without the walls, it's like Monaco without the walls, basically is what I'm saying. It's certainly you set the car up similar to Monaco for here, so similar in aspects really. See how difficult these conditions are. Then 106.1, which is a bit slower than we saw from Cialdino earlier. Not on the lap he's just completed to go fastest though. 131.1. So I think that Monsters is heading for a 33, I think. Oh, not loses it though. Well, even with a little moment, gets a 133. He's probably on for a 132 then, but I'll take it. Where else can we go? Everybody improving. Coxey improves. P3 for Coxey. Gets ahead of Massey. If we can spot someone. I think Junkie's just improved actually, up to P7. Whale, who obviously should be right at home in these conditions. Oh, hello. What's that all about? Where did that car come from? What's going on? There's something going weird with the lobby. I don't know what's happening there. I don't know if something was going a bit weird with the lobby or whether it's just people being a bit silly. I don't know. The AlphaTauri had obviously spun, so that wouldn't silliness. That just spun in the final corner, so I can only assume that was Bartas. Can't see another AlphaTauri on the list there. On a lap here, Bartas gets on, just runs out wide. Struggling at the moment. There goes past. Right, anybody doing anything right now? Let's see if we can spot someone who's Massey across the line. 8/10 improvement, goes P2. That's a 31.4. Obviously not improving. Not sure if Hunter is or not. It's just watching to the line. Comes up the final corner. And 31.8, that puts Hunter into P4. Qualifying well recently. Certainly a driver that's gained a lot of pace as Hunter since I started commentating the league. It's one of the ones that really sticks out as has made quite big improvements. While gingerly making his way around the final corner in order to start another flying lap. Gaz is on inters, but sat in the pits. So we've got a spinner. That is a Merc as well. Which one is it? It's Fatal. Just waiting here by the looks of it for the Alpha to get past. Let's be careful, there's another one on its way. Just to the right, we'll be fine. There we go, I think that was a Williams. Go, Checo. Right, the final corner. How's he getting on? PB at the moment, 134.6. Oh no, that was night lap, sorry. Let's stick with Checo then and do the hilly hot lap. So we go down to turn 1. In these conditions, we're gearing down to second, possibly third. It depends on the driver. A lot of that. Keep it over to the right hand side through turn 2 and then head down to turn 3. Usually late braking, late apex corner. But you do want to be hugging the inside. Ideally, obviously in these conditions, touch a curve and you're going to be gone, so stand by not. As he's up in sector 1, he runs off the track, so I think I can actually find somebody else to do the hot lap with. Use Massey to continue it on. Into the right hander then. Even in the dry conditions, don't touch the inside curve, it will spin you straight round. Then through chicane, don't touch the sausage curbs through there. Ideally will give you the best pace that you can. It's all about getting on the power on the exit. Through the left right. And through the left, hug the left hand side, really open up this corner so you can take as much pace through the corner as you can. Then keep to the left hand side as Massey sounds like he's backing out here. There's a McLaren just behind. Let's check it again. Cool. Let's just finish it here then. So yeah, this is the penultimate corner, hairpin, and good idea to go quite slightly wide and then come back in on the corner. But there's loads of ways. There's no real wrong way to take that corner. Then on the final corner, close to the inside, but again, do not touch that inside curve, even in a dry. It will spin you round. Check over the line here. As you can see, we already knew he'd backed out the lap earlier, but that is a lap of Hungary. Got more drivers now sat waiting on the intermediates. Gaz is actually out on the intermediate tyres, but it's way too wet. See how he gets on. I believe he's just come across someone to start a lap, so we'll see how he gets on. But in my opinion, it's way too wet at the moment. You have to really stick to the racing line. So, bonus of these conditions is that you can actually see the racing line very, very well. But you can see he's very, very gingerly going through, and yeah, look, it's 2.8 seconds, 2.7 seconds down just in sector 1. The track is just nowhere near. I don't think we're going to be seeing the track be faster on intermediates before the end of the session, if I'm honest. Only 5 minutes to go. That is a lot of drying up it would have to do. Massey's invalidated. Flungus has gone into P3 on a 31.6. See, I think that might be Checo directly ahead. He's on a hot lap. Oh, no he's not. He's into the pits. Okay. This is teammate Lynn. He's on an out lap. Can't find anybody on a hot lap at the moment. I can't find any of those cars that are coming round. It's monsters. If he pits, I'm going to cry. At least he's not. The monsters out the final corner. What's he managed? Cruise for 6/10, goes into P10. Good effort. He goes on into, surely he's going to come into the pit. Surely you can tell it's not, it's nowhere near. It's absolutely nowhere near. Wait along the wet seas coming in. Thing is, you start to see other drivers have switched to inters, so you think, oh god, I've got to come in and switch to inters, but it's very, very obvious that the wets are the right tyre. See, quarter of a second up through the first sector, over 4 tenths up through the second sector, is on target for provisional pole. How did I start commentating? Funny enough, Vice, I similar to your answer the other night actually. I've always sort of done it, but on my own. So, if I'm playing Football Manager, I commentate the matches as they're happening and stuff like that. But I've always sort of done it just in the background, and when I'm racing I'll do it as well and stuff like that. But never really in front of someone, and then I joined this league. I'd done a little bit of commentary before playing pool. I was a pool player, I still am a pool player, I just haven't played for a long time, but yeah, I've commentated in some tournaments and stuff like that. where there's been a commentator there already and I've joined, and I quite enjoyed that. But yeah, I've just always done it when I've been playing computer games, really. And so about a year ago-ish, when I was in ARC, I joined the admin team, and the first thing was, would you mind doing some commentating? And I was like, nah. No, I'm too terrified to actually do it in front of people. But I did it with someone the first time. As soon as I did it once, that was it. I was hooked, and I just couldn't do enough of them. And then came my own Twitch account, and all of a sudden I was signed up to 6 a week, I think it was at one point. Well, I'm not far off that now, mind, but once WRL gets up and running again on 23, yeah, I will be 5 a week, so I'm only one under that now. But, yeah, I love it. I love the commentating every bit as much as I love the driving. I drive 3 times a week as well. And it's, yeah, I love them equally. So I get less frustration with the commentating now. I don't shout at people so much when I'm commentating as compared to driving. But, Fabinho, he's on a monster lap, I think. Massey's retired out. That is in the pits, by the way. And Chaldinho's on a monster. He's absolutely flying. So I think this track is drying up. Massey is actually coming in at the wrong time. Chaldinho's gone 29.8. It's a massive 1.1 second faster than Massey. The track is drying. Still not at intermediate level, but it is drying. Just makes you wonder if one of these intermediate guys gets over the line right, like just before the counter stops. Maybe, just maybe, it might pay off for them. Gunnar goes P2 on a 130.719. Hunter's way up. Who's this? It's Lungus. Yeah, no, I think that was an outlap actually. There's Hunter. But early on in the lap actually, it's just in the first sector. So now for a Mayo, who's had a little moment in turn 1. But back going again. I don't particularly want to move to that. Let's keep an eye on the skies. I believe is Chaldinho. So he's not going around again, which leaves his pole position potentially at risk. In these conditions, it really can be so important to be the last across the line. Gives you a big advantage as Hunter goes purple. Sees him on a 30.5, so he does need to find a lot more in the final sector, but there's a purple middle sector. You can really see how much the track's dried. The standing water, the puddles aren't so obvious now. And Hunter 1.1 improvement, 30.0 goes P2. Gunnar coming across the line, improves again, goes P4 ahead of Coxey. Lungus is way off. Craig does not improve on the intermediates. He was a second off, so the track didn't ever get to the intermediate stage. But it's well done to Chaldinho, considering he completed that lap before the checkered flag was out. That really was a very, very good lap from Chaldinho. Hunter in P2, superb qualifying for Hunter. Whale P3, Gunnar in 4, Coxey in 5, and Massey just paid the price there a little bit for the. I assume he ran out of fuel. He probably fueled for so many laps, and probably it got him to where he was, and then he came into the pits, probably realising that the track was starting to dry up, and it was a bit of a nightmare time for it to happen. But there you go. Anyway, Whoopi in 7, Chip Van 8, Junkie in 9. Volungus is just pitting. That's what we're waiting for. He's P10. I'll finish up the countdown in just a moment. Interesting qualifying, and Lots of changes going on. So, Face of Defiance, good qualifying man in P11. Chris, P12, Bad X11, P13. Gaza in 14, Monsters 15. Craig in 16, Checo 17, and Bartas will start from the back, which is P18 this evening. Some bigger names, X11, Gaza, certainly. Two of them that are a bit closer towards the back. Lungus in P10 as well. There's going to be some people needing to make their way through a little bit. I'm just going to quickly scroll to the bottom of the instance. There you go, just in case, but I don't think they're likely to be needed, but just in case. So, there you go. As you can see, the first intermediate driver was P14, so it just simply didn't dry up. Yeah, that's what I thought, Massey. Yeah, one more lap of fuel. There we go, guys. So, yeah, certainly an interesting qualifying. That's a good sight, sunshine for the race. Right, if there's any drivers out there listening, don't forget we do take a quick break, so please do not ready up until an admin has told you in the Discord. Other than that, guys, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be back in a few moments. See you in a minute. Alright, okay, guys, back with you. And yes, indeed, Fatal P11 didn't molest it. Yeah, you leave those walls alone. Didn't do anything to you. You did have a little spin, though. I caught you. I saw it. We saw it. We all saw it. Well, just waiting for the shout out to go out. Shouldn't be too long. Also, I'd like to say a massive congratulations to Manchester City on winning the FA Cup final. I don't support them, I don't support Man United, I'm a Newcastle fan, but I hope they enjoy their trophies while they can still get them until Newcastle become what they're going to turn into and just win everything. So, which I want Newcastle to do, just simply to prove that football's all about money now. So the countdown has begun. It's the final countdown. Diddly-doo, diddly-doo-doo. Bit hilly-okey. So I won't do that again. Right then, guys. So as I've been doing this last week with other leagues, I'm doing a little bit of give you a bit of information about the track we are at. So as you know, we're in Hungary, which is the Hungara Ring. Is the name of the track. It began on the Hungaroring in 1985 and the track was race ready just 9 months later for the first race to be held there in 1986. The Hungarian government had originally considered reviving the old Neplajec Park circuit in Budapest, but opted for the new circuit instead. So the first race, 1986, at the new circuit, Nelson Piquet was the first winner of the race around the Hungaroring, famously slithering his Williams around the outside of Ayrton Senna's Lotus to take the lead. The lack of straights at the Hungaroring often sees it compared to a karting circuit, and it's very true. The resemblance is uncanny, with several series of corners to string together. Teams tend to opt for Monaco levels of downforce, with a well-sorted chassis tending to be rewarded over horsepower because of the straights, basically. The lap record around here is a 1 minute 16.627 by Sir Lewis Hamilton, set in 2020. The full distance of the race would be 70 laps around a circuit of 4.381 kilometres, meaning a race distance of 306.63 kilometres, but of course we are a 50% league, so we won't be doing all of those, don't worry. Last year's podium saw Verstappen win the race from 10th on the grid to beat Hamilton, who was P2, and Russell P3, so a double podium for Merck. So funny enough, the same top three that we've just had today, so there we go. Anyway, that's enough useless information about the Hungarian Grand Prix, and get the details up. See different tyres for starters throughout the grid. We've got even a soft starter with Chris in P12. All the lights are on. Let's come down to P3 well for the start. And away we go, and Hunter gets off the line pretty well. Then Well really seems to pick up the pace. He uses the ERS to help him down to turn 1. Jorginho looking like he's going to be able to defend it and keep the lead though. As we've got check through the field, and it looks like everybody's gotten away absolutely fine. A good start to the race. As Wookie makes up a place on Chipfan, and then Chipfan loses out to Chris as well, who's of course started on those soft tyres. At the moment, Columbus has just made it up to P7. He's our joint biggest gainer, up 3 places. The other one being Checo, who's up to 14th from 17th. No massive gainers at the start around here. I argue 3 places is pretty massive, to be fair. But, right, let's have a look at Chris, who is flying on the soft tyres at the start of this race. Oh, we're round! We are round with Chris. Oh, and we're round again with Chris. Go on, Chris. Oh dear, we're round again with Chris. Oh, he's going to love me for catching all of this. Alright, clip that, stick it in Discord for when it comes up. So, let's get back up to the top then. Jorginho still leads from Wales. Lead Jorginho. Let's just go back to the tyres. Oh no, they both started on the mediums. So, mediums for Jorginho, Well and Hunter. And Gunnar and Massey, in fact. So, the top 5 all on mediums. Coxie is the top hards runner. That could really come back to suit him later on as Jorginho spins from the lead. I'm not going to say anything. But, oh, Jorginho. Oh, we got another spinner. Who's that? That's Bartas. Gives Jorginho a place back. Doing that. So, anyway, a long, long way to go in this race. Don't discount anybody from winning this race yet. Way too early, as Craig is the latest. So, lots of spins going on. Lots of spins. Can't argue that there's plenty happening here to start. So Wales taking a little. We got the full track yellows out now. I think it's a VSC. Just go back a little bit. Yeah, it is VSC. Just about to see it on the board on the left-hand side. Well, Vice says Wales will win. Trust me. It's not a bad start to that little prediction. Remember, it is a VSC, but we have got pit stops going on. Chaldinho is in. He's going to hard tyres. Bartas has done the same. Craig's gone some mediums. Chris on mediums as well. Japan stayed out, so he's just going to make up a couple of places here. Get ahead of Chris and Craig. So, presumably we get ready to start again here. Shouldn't take too long. It's a bit premature in doing his donuts there, Vice, when he... Here we go again then. DRS is enabled. This is lap 3. Just the 2 DRS zones around here. With the 1 activation point for it. So Hunter is within the 1 second, as is Gunnar and Massey. So the top 4 very close to each other. Coxey is only 1.9, he can quite clearly see them. And the fact that Coxey started on the hards, his race could really come back to him a bit later on. Malungus in P6 then, on the back of Coxey here. And just started on the medium, so ideally you won't want it to take him too long to get past Coxey. 2 reasons. One, of course, he's on the mediums. He wants a nice clear road to take advantage of the pace of those tyres at this point in the race. But the other being, of course, he doesn't want to be stuck in the dirty air of a hard driver. Just basically destroying his medium tyres. Around a track like this, that the dirty air will be heavy. So high downforce circuit. Bit of a catch-22, because you don't want to follow too close to the car ahead, because you get the dirty air really bad and it really affects your tyres. And can actually make the car quite unstable. But on the other hand, if you want to make an overtake round here, you need to be within a few temps going onto the home straight. So there's a bit of a catch-22. So this is, I know he's just had a tiny little moment out the final corner there for Lungus, but he's way too far back. I don't know if he might be able to do something down to turn 3. And again, DRS opens, but no. The problem is the car ahead just uses a little splash of energy and completely negates your DRS advantage really without you using energy yourself. So Coxey is not falling off majorly. He's 3 seconds down now, so he's lost about a second since we restarted from the VSC, which is about right on hards. They will be about half a second slower than the mediums at this point, so 2 laps for a second seems about right. So he's going well at the moment, Coxey. And what we see is the advantage starts to turn. So these guys on mediums will probably be beginning to pit somewhere around like lap 11, and they could pit anywhere up to about lap 17. So it's quite a big window for pit stops off of the mediums around here. See, they're in a real stalemate at the moment. It's getting reasonably close to Wales. Got pretty close to the back there, but Well got a much better exit out of turn 1, so the opportunity disappeared. You spin me right round, baby, right round. So I love this chicane. I absolutely love that chicane. It's just amazing. I love the broadcast camera view as well. It gives us on that chicane. We'll get a view of that in a minute. It was the sort of camera angle from behind the corner, so or in front of the corner, whichever way around you look at it. And so you sort of see the car coming onto the chicane and hit how you really see how well they hit the curbs. Just a moment. Again, not able to get close enough, and I think we could definitely say he's not close enough there. I just want to check on Volungus because, yeah, he is side by side with Cotsy, but again, I think it seems to be on the outside there. He seems to get a better exit. There's a bit more grip out there. But that was the first real opportunity, I'd say, for Volungus, to be fair. Well, just to keep an eye on him, Chodinho further down, who's moved to the hard tyres, and presumably it's going to try to take those all the way to the end of this race. It may be difficult on such an early lap, but presumably that's what he's going to try and do. Oh, so we got a yellow. And that is, I think that was Chris. I'm not sure it was. It was around him somewhere, so could have been the car in front or behind, to be fair. Right, where are we going? Let's come down to this one a second. There's a little freeway going on here between Fatal Defiance, Checo and Gaza. Has a little look to the inside of Checo. Just knows it's so difficult, as I say. You're just stuck. You're absolutely stuck. But that could give an opportunity here to Gaza. So Checo runs wide. Gaza will fancy if he gets past Checo and he can hold this position. Now Gaza will fancy. He's on the back of Fatal, whose red light is flashing. Yes, he's low on energy, yeah, around the 10% mark at the moment, so it is a track you can earn some energy back around here quite easily, because it's quite easy, obviously, to lift going into the corners. Just one of the ways of gaining energy back. Pretty much identical. You lift in the same way that you lift to save fuel in order to gain energy back, and then you gain most energy back during the heavy braking zones. But by lifting into the corners, just like with fuel, really, you're not pressing the power. So by not pressing the power, you're saving energy in exactly the same way as you would save up fuel. So I don't think Gaz is close enough this time. Pretty close. It may. Oh, we've lost someone. We've lost Bartas. It's at a fast right-hander. That could easily be a safety car. It is. So if we go down to Craig, the fast right-hander just before that corner, Bartas has lost it. Presumably ended up in the wall on the right-hand side. So, well, it's the medium drivers haven't. The medium starters haven't got a choice. They have to pit. This is perfect. Well, perhaps not perfect for them, but it's pretty good. And this is the bit, unfortunately, for the guys who started on hards, where they go, oh no, because this safety car is pretty almost as badly timed as it could possibly be for them. It's just that they can't pit to mediums. This track will absolutely shred the medium tyres before the end of this race, so it'll be a case of all the mediums in, and I would imagine all the hards staying out. But even then, you kind of think, well, is this what I should be doing? Because I'm going to take the... Well, for Coxie here, he's going to take the lead of the race. But he's also going to be a sitting duck for the guys on fresh tyres. So, well, he's not going to be so much of a sitting duck because Junkie Emperor and Whoopi have both stayed out as well. And Fatal Defiance and Gaza, who do get ahead of the guys that were at the front. So, Whale has exited the pits in P6. With Hunter behind him, Gunnar behind that, Massey behind that. And 5 guys that started on the hard tyres go into the lead of this race. So Coxie leads from Junkie Emperor, Whoopi in 3, Fatal Defiance 4 and Gaza 5. So a nice load of track position. If they can hold on to that track position and another safety car were to come out, then they'd be quids in. Yeah, definitely, Reese. It's hard to the end. Just wondering what Chaldinho did. I'm a little bit surprised he stayed on the hards because he pitted. No, I say that. He pitted right at the start, didn't he? So after a spin, so I can't remember what lap that was, but it was within the first 3 laps, wasn't it? I think so. That's a long way for his horse to go. They're already 7 laps old as it is. But if he feels he could do it, you can obviously see his tyre wear and you'll have an idea of just how much tyre wear is being added each lap and where he's going to be at the end of the race. And so if he can get to the end, of course, he will get the advantage of gaining the places off all the guys that will have to pit. It's only 5, so he'd only gain up to P7. That's presuming those guys don't disappear because obviously he's P12 at the moment. If he gets stuck, he's at the very front, could potentially disappear a little bit. Yes, Reese, he is. Just so he didn't already. No, I think the Constructors has already won. Just a second, I'm just going into the Discord. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Right, drivers. So, well, the gap. Yeah, basically, as it stands right. Oh goodness me, I've got to do my maths now. Right, the gap is 45 points. The winner gets 40. So, as it stands right now, they're in P8 and P9, Gunnar and Massey. Mind you, Junkie Emperor's on the same amount of points as Gunnar, so as it stands right now, technically no, because Junkie's in P2, but of course he's going to have to pit, so yeah, basically Gunnar has to outscore Massey by 4 points. That would leave a gap of 41 for a win and the fastest lap, but actually I don't think that would be good enough because well, let's just put it this way. Actually, if Gunnar won next week with fastest lap to level it up on points with Massey, saying Massey retired, they'd both be on 2 wins for the season. So on countback, they'd be level on wins, but the most amount of seconds is Massey. So Massey would still be champion. So that wouldn't be good enough for Gunnar. He's got to. That gap must be at the most 40 points. So sorry, we've got going again while I've been nattering away. Here we go then, and Massey is. Can we get past Gunnar here? Gunnar's going to be on the inside of turn 3. That Alpha's in a bit of a sandwich, and it's ended up round. That didn't look like it was ever going to work out. Volungus, who's ended up round. It just didn't look like that was ever going to work, did it? But the most important thing here for the championship is that Massey has just gotten past Gunnar. As I said, Gunnar's not the only one. Junkie is on the same amount of points as Gunnar. So he could keep this championship alive as well, potentially. Or as the other Alfa Romeo is dropping down a bit. Tiny touch of wheels there, not much to think about. 11 looks to outbrake. Oh goodness me, there's a McLaren there as well. And they keep it, all three of them going. It looks like they can. That's Chris that's in the McLaren that's taken advantage off of all that and has gotten in front of them all. Look at the line of drivers though. X11 right on the back of Chris, is going to the inside. I think he had a bit of contact there, and X11 looks like brake. Oh, he's been hit. Chris has been hit from behind. I don't know. It was either, I think it was Chip Van. It was either Chip Van or Monsters that's hit him. They've outbraked themselves into turn one. They've hit the car ahead, and that's usually without any sort of proof of something untoward happening to them. That's usually a stonewall penalty from the stewards. Lungus is looking to make his way back up a bit. Say that Whoopi's taken a lead on the restart, and he has broken the 1 second of Coxey. Only just. Only just. So we'll be looking to do as Gaza and Fatal are fighting. Oh no, Fatal! No! He had such a tiniest little bit of contact there, and I'm not sure how I ended up with that sort of speed. It unsettled him clearly, and then he ended up off on the grass. So continues on his way. Oh, now somebody else is dropping down. That's Chip Van. Turn one. Just goes through. Right, sorry, let's get up here. So, top three have broken away. Whale is 2.3 behind. And he's one of the ones on fresh tyres. So he presumably was held up a bit by Fatal and Gaza. These guys, I think, because they're going to have to take a pit stop, they need a lot more than a couple of seconds gap. It's, I would say, really, they would need something in the region of 14 to 15 seconds so that they can pit to the median compound, I would presume, and then make some time up at the end of this race. But I just don't see how they're going to make anything like that sort of gap up, to be honest with you. Whoopi is pulling away at the front, but sorry, excuse me. I just can't see him making that sort of gap. I think knows the importance of this. It's I don't just mean keeping the championship alive, but he's in order to do that, he's got to beat Massey, but he's got to beat him by 5 points to keep it into the final race of the season. Now, so therefore, it's so important for him to try and get back past Massey now, and then try and get ahead of Gaza as the yellow flags are out, and I think it's Checo. A moment. It looks like Fatal's been round behind as well. No, that wasn't Fatal. Sorry, Fatal. That wasn't Fatal. That was Chip Van. Fatal's pitted to new medium tyres. Just go to Massey. So this is what I was talking about. So Gunnar needs to get past Massey, because if Massey starts to put other cars between them, it's going to become pretty much an impossible task. As he's one of those drivers that knows exactly how to make his car seem extremely wide, particularly on tracks like this. He's very good at doing it. So, keep an eye on this one because, of course, it's the championship, but our other battles going on. Still, Hunter in P9 now. He's got Volungus over the back of him. Jardino's on the back of that. I think let's. There is someone close. Look. So this is Massey at the inside of Gaza. Turn 1, Gaza might get a switch back, but Massey's going to have the DRS. Which Gaza doesn't have, so Gaza will fall in behind. There's nothing he could do about that. So I think these front runners on the old hard tyres are pretty much just going to keep going in hope of a safety car. And there are incidents occurring. Look, Volungus is at a spin. Gets out the way of Chris there and lets him pass because he's obviously slow restarting. So yeah, there's certainly incidents occurring, and I think we all know that on this track it's one moment where somebody catches a curb wrong, there's a little bit too much steering input while putting the power on. All of a sudden they're in a wall, the wheel comes off and the safety car's out. So just go back down to Gunnar, who's having a look at Gaza. He's on the outside coming up to turn 1. Again, not a lot that Gaza could do about it, to be honest. So Gunnar then gets DRS back again. And just seems to try and close the gap back up to Massey, who's already onto the back of Whale. That is because, well, presumably, having caught Junkie Emperor is being held up by him. There's that beautiful view of that chicane. Longest, by the way, after that later spin, is coming to the pits and he's put a set of softs on. Not sure why softs, but put on. Oh, when we lost Coxey from P2. Oh, Coxey, what you done? Oh, he's over there. Oh, Coxey. Oh, what a shame. He was really doing well. As just rub salt into the horrendous race that Volungus is having. He's just picked up a drive-through as well, speeding under the safety car, as the leaders then do pick the safety car up. So Whale and Massey have opted to stay out and take track position. Whoopi goes on to fresh mediums in P3, so potentially you would probably say that Whoopi becomes favourite for this race, being on fresh mediums. That's not to say that Massey and Well are going to be easy to get past at all. Yes, Reese, indeed. Perfect timing for the hard runners. They both had one. I haven't got a clue what you're talking about, guys. Love Top Gear. Did you? Right, so what's happening then? So well leads from Massey, Whoopi P3 on fresh mediums. Monsters on stayed out on the hards and now takes P4. Junkie very nicely on the mediums in P5. Checo had stayed out, but he's going to come into the pits. Get rid of those hards. That's going to hurt a bit. And it's use the brakes, I guess. Helping Graza into P6. Gunnar into 7. See the difference being that Gunnar opted to pit, whereas Massey opted to stay out. Massey's going to look to protect his position. Just to be fair, Gunnar has to get past 4 people before he can even look at Massey's rear end. So and one of those is Junkie that he's leveling the championship with. So Junkie's not just going to be looking to pull over, even if they are teammates. There's no reason at this point. The constructors has already decided, so no reason at this point at all that Junkie would give that place up. He's fighting Gunnar for at least second in the championship and for his own opportunity to go into the last race with a chance to win it. So it's going to be interesting to see how Whale and Massey cope against the medium tyres, fresh medium tyres, particularly of Whoopi. Should be in this lap. The back car is Lungus and he's just catching on to the back now. So, yeah, there we go. Sixth car in this lap. The safety car disappears into the pit lane, and we wait for Whale to make his decision on when he's going to go. Any time up to the line, but there he goes, off for the final corner. Whoopi looks to get a run on Massey. It's not a bad run he's got as well. Massey. Oh, Whoopi gets a really good exit at turn 1 and he's going to get past. So immediately Whoopi gets past Massey. I don't know, you just feel like that's important. Like if Whoopi hadn't got that there, then he may not. Look at that, he's already leading the race. It's aggressive on the restart from Whoopi, but it's fair. It's safe, it's fair. He's done it well, and Junkie looks like he's having a hard time, and I think, is that Junkie or Gunnar? I think that's Gunnar. It is, it's Gunnar this round. And drops to P14. Oh, what's going on now? Junkie's dropping down. It's a disaster for the Aston Martins. Both of them trying to keep this. He's lost part of his front wing as Junkie. He's lost his right end plate, I believe. He's going to be into the pits. Yeah, he's into the pits. Volungus also has taken to the pits. Really not Volungus. No, I can't see any obvious signs of damage on that. Oh, he had a drive-through actually, didn't he? If I remember rightly. So, well, it's disaster for Junkie, and it's disaster for Gunnar, let's be honest. It would be some performance if he was to pull this back and catch Massey. With 13.5 laps remaining. Doesn't seem likely, does it? It's Gaza now, who's on the back of Massey. You feel that for Gunnar to have any chance of that happening, he needs Massey to be dropping down places like there's no tomorrow, so that, and then he makes up places and they kind of meet in the middle somewhere. You don't fancy catching him if Massey stays in P3, that's for sure. There's a possibility of that happening. I mean, Gaza is clearly very close to him here. Then you've got Monsters behind, who's on Warren Hards himself. And Chardino's behind that, and we know how quick he is. Moment. Just can't seem to get that sort of exit out of a corner that gives him a run. He's not that sort of driver. He's not the sort of driver, Gaz. He's not just going to throw it in somewhere and hope for the best. He's not like that. He will wait for the opportunity to present itself. The Ronar situation about the cheating and stuff. But I mean, I'll be honest, right? So I don't know. I have no idea. I don't follow it at all. So and if he is, then he deserves a ban, lifetime ban in front of my eyes. If it's proven that he is doing it. Yes, ultimately they couldn't ban him from playing the game because he just set up a new account, but they could certainly ban him from esports. So, at the moment, let's just give it to Massey. He's doing a grand job here. Gaza does get a little run here, but he's gonna be too far back by the time they reach the corner. And Gaz's problem, obviously, he needs Whale to disappear. He needs Whale to get away so that you can have the DRS. But, of course, Whale is another driver who stayed on the hards. So, well, Whoopi is just absolutely cruising to victory now. Just don't need to do anything silly now, Whoopi. Just drive the car. You don't have to put in good laps or anything like that. Just needs to get the car round the lap, each lap, and that'll do. This doesn't look like it's going anywhere, does it, at the moment? It just doesn't look like Gaza can get the exit, as I say, out of a corner. It's going to give him a run. Let's get this great view again. Down. Oh, oh dear. He's ended up in a wall. I'm trying to see where that is. That's the chicane just there. On the left, right after the chicane, I suppose. Oh, I assume there's. Yeah, he's lost his link entirely, so. That'll be back to the pits for Fatal. Chip van up the inside of Monsters. Also gets the DRS back again. see, he's struggling a bit, isn't he? You can see a bit of wear on the, particularly on the left rear, I have to say. The right rear doesn't look too bad, but the left rear, see some graining. Either that or my eyes are going funny. Now it looks like he's on the right rear, actually. Swapping tyres, what's going on? So, well, now Gaza, having not managed to get past Massey and Well, Gaza's now got the pleasure of having Chardinho within the 1 second of him. Massey just looks like he gets a little out of shape. At the invitation that Gaza needs. Whale moves to the inside to break the toe from Massey, so no opportunity coming there. Craig gets ahead of Monsters. It does look like Monsters is beginning to struggle a bit. Here's got a set to 1 yellow, and I think it's Chris. It is. There he goes again. Oh, he's going to go again. Oh, this man, he's going to be extremely dizzy by the end of this race. So, get going, lads. Well, I hope he popped some seasickness tablets before he started. Back to Gaz's struggles. So, Massey runs a bit wide. Doesn't really affect him. Might have given him a warning, I'm not sure. Probably not, but it might have done. A little bit more invitation now for Gaza, as he's, for the first time I think, he sees Massey's light starting to flash. Yeah, Jardinho sat right there as well. And that looks to be for Lungus again for me. It's another one who's going to be a bit uneven on his feet getting out of the car at the end. Into the pits. Remember, you do score points in this league just for finishing. You don't have to be in the top 10 or the top 15 or anything like that. It's, if you finish the race, you've got to score points. All the way down to 1 point for 20th. And anybody can take the fastest lap as well, so Lungus is in. So Chris has gone the fresh sauce, so Lungus has just gone the fresh sauce, so they're obviously, Vettel's already done that, so presumably those guys will have a little fastest lap battle between themselves. Say Chardinho has gotten past Gaza. Sorry, I missed that happening. I actually thought I was on Gaza then. I didn't realise I'd gone to Massey. So, now Massey's just picked up 3 seconds. So I just not going to make any difference, is it? Ultimately, Chip Van in P6 is 7.3 off the back of this. So, and even further down, Gunner's 3 seconds off the back of the car ahead of him, which is Hunter, and they're on the same age tyres. So. And every lap that ticks away, just feel the title getting closer and closer to Massey, and retaining the title, of course. He did win it last season as well on his first season in HRF1. It's going to be back-to-back title wins. It's been an interesting season, and there's absolutely no doubt at all that well, certainly Chardinho, to name one, has the pace to battle and beat Massey. It's the consistency that he needs to work on. As we saw at the start of this race, he's leading comfortably before spinning out of the lead. Massey now, they did have a little touch there. Wasn't really anything to write home about, but a little touch. Fred played well, by the way. He's had Massey since the restart. He's had Massey tipped right up his backside. So I say fair play to well. And Massey's penalty just gives a little bit of frustration as well as he applies the accelerator down. He's going to go. Pushing the accelerator down the way he did will only serve to make the tyres even worse. So it is for Chardinho. Unfortunately, as I say, there's absolutely no doubt whatsoever that the lad's certainly got the pace about him. I would say he's the fastest on the grid, to be honest. But, Massey is fast with that consistency. Very, very rarely makes a mistake himself. He does make them. He won just the other day, actually, in another league. But I know he is a bit wary of Hungary as well, so he's doing well here, actually, to be fair to him. But looks like it's going to be a podium as it stands. So Chardinho, the tyres in the pits, frustration mounts, and an unneeded retirement in the pit lane from Chardinho. No need for that whatsoever, just frustration with himself. Oh, and Whale, what have you done? Whale now does it to himself. Spins it round, and that promotes Massey to P2, Gaza to P3. Be a difference between two drivers. Dino makes a mistake straight into the pits and retires the car. Guarantee 100% well will carry on to the end of this race. And he's reserving. Chardinho isn't. On there, we got a battle going on here between Checo and Hunter. Now he's Gunnar all over the back of it as well, so he's caught the back of Hunter. These guys look like they're going to give us bit of entertainment through to the end. The only thing that can ruin the day for Massey here would be a safety car right at the death, but this is the very last lap that one could come out. In fact, Whoopi is round the final corner, so Whoopi has crossed the line to start lap 33, and therefore a safety car can no longer come out in this race. Yellow and sets her free. That's an Alpine, and that's Chip Van. Spun round. There's all sorts of battles going on. So, Spooner having a look at Hunter. Two bosses of the league. Two of the bosses of the league, should I say. Hunter is the owner. he's... I kind of think of Gunnar as the head admin sort of role. I'm an admin myself, so I don't really do anything if I'm honest with you. Well, I do on stream, obviously, but you know what I mean. Fate to the Defiance pits to a fresh set of sauce. He's going to have a look at the fastest lap, I presume. Oh, goodness me, look how tight this is getting. Check one of McLaren on the outside, Hunter. Check one to slightly ease off, which has given Hunter the chance. They all appear to have DRS, because the car ahead, Monsters, then, is giving them all DRS, so... Gunnar. Just to get a lot more speed around that corner on the outside. Oh, and again, he's having a look at the outside of Hunter. He's trying his hardest, isn't he? Ultimately, Massey. And something ridiculous happens in the last lap and a bit. Massey's going to take this title, currently in P3 with a 3-second penalty. The car directly behind him is 12 seconds behind, so I think well, after a spin is covered. I think some of the medium tyre drivers might be starting to struggle a little bit, you know. There's just some signs. I think Craig might be struggling. He's a slight, well, yeah, they're a couple of laps older than everybody else is on the mediums, so maybe his are starting to hit the wall a little bit. Well, on his 25 laps old hards is, oh, that was close. Well done to Gunnar on avoiding that after avoiding Hunter after missing his braking there. That was super close. That could have been an awkward week in the admin chat. Monsters. I have to say, what a shame Monsters has got a penalty, because I think invariably he'd be my driver of the day otherwise. He's got 9 places. Gaz has got one as well, and he's up 12 places. And Craig, what's going on? Oh, I've missed it. Whoopi crosses the line to win in Hungary. Gaza P2, Massey P3. Craig is touch and go with Whale. Absolute touch and go. Get that DRS on Craig. He heads for the line. Whale's going to get him. Yeah, he gets him. So Whale up the P4. Craig P5. Less than a tenth separating them in the end with the penalty. Monsters P6. I will not break my rule. I've never broken my rule of not giving it to a driver with a penalty before, and I'm not going to start now. The drivers ultimately will vote in the Discord who will be driver of the day, but my comms one I'm going to need to take a look in a moment when we get the standings up. But anyway, Monsters P6, Hunter in 7, Checo in 8, Junkie Emperor in 9, X11 in 10. Gunnar is dropped, I think he's just messing about at the end of this one. I think he knows the championship's over, so he's just having a bit of fun. P11, just count down in just a second, and award my driver of the day. Did a burnout like Max, I just, oh, well. I don't know, guys. Yeah, we don't watch that anyway. Oh, actually, Vungus does want me to watch that. Oh well, never mind, I've gone now. Lungus got the fastest lap in the end, 118.439. Where was I on the countdown? I've forgotten. Hunter P7, Checo in 8, Junkie 9, X11 10, Gunnar in 11, Chris 12, Chitvan 13, Volungus was 14, Fatal Defiance. our final finisher in 15th will pick up points. Well done for carrying on to the end, Fatal. Difficult evening, but well done for carrying on to the end, and a good qualifying as well. We lost then Chodinho, who retired in the pits for no reason. Coxey, who was unlucky with a spin, and Bartas. I didn't actually see his, but I think he caught the outside curve and spun over into the inside wall, but as I said, I didn't actually catch it. Right, I suppose we all want to listen to Whoopi and his fantastic Scottish accent, so let's get him in, along with Gaza with his horrendous whatever accent it is, I don't know. You wait till he watches it. Actually, I don't think he watches them back anymore. Right, we got people joining. Oh yeah, my driver of the day. Right, hang on. I think I got to give it. I think it's got to be Whoopi. I think yeah, Whoopi is my driver of the day. Right, who have I got? Gaza and Massey. Okay, guys, can you just make sure? Oh no, it's not. It's because I've not. I've got to change it on my side first. Hang on. Right, there we go. I ticked mine, so yours should come up now. Awesome. Okay, and you Whoopi, just make sure your audios are included, then, guys. And Massey, I will come to you first because it's P3 tonight. So well done on the podium tonight.
Thanks.
Tricky race. I know you've said to me, or you said in Discord previously that Hungary's, due to an incident in the past, you're a bit wary here. But you got round okay tonight.
Yeah, it was bizarrely one of the most enjoyable third place finishes I've had. I normally have pretty good pace at Hungary. I just tend to make the odd mistake around that corner that everyone makes a mistake on. But yeah, me and Wales, I think, both made the exact same mistake. Safety car came out and we had a split second to decide whether to pit for mediums, and we both stayed out for hards. And yeah, I mean, Whoopi pulled a brilliant overtake on me. He just drove around. He just drove around me, and I thought, I'll see if I can stick with him and follow him through on Whale, but he just drove around Whale as well. So I was like, okay. So I just tried to stay with Whale. Then I picked up a silly penalty, and then Whale spun. So I was like, brilliant. And then, if that's an overtake of the season, Gaza, bloody hell, you've got balls of steel, man. That was insane.
Cheers,
yeah,
mate.
yeah, enjoyed that. Third place is still on the podium. Still a good result. I don't know the championship, but I was watching the Astons the whole race. That's all I was watching was the Astons and Gunnar, and yeah, like I said, the guys, Whoopi deserved the win. Brilliant pace, and yeah, Gaza deserves second just from the overtakes.
Yeah,
enjoyed that.
We mentioned it there. Yeah, congratulations, because you are, well, provisionally, as long as there are no tickets or anything like that against you, which I don't think there will be, from what I saw. But as long as all that's fine, then you are the champion for back-to-back seasons now. So congratulations,
I think
mate.
he still wins it, even if there is tickets. He still wins it because he finished.
Thank you.
Yeah, unless he gets a penalty that is so bad it drops him down behind Junkie and Daguna. So as long as you don't get like a 40-second penalty or something, you should be fine, basically. Which, as Gunnar is like basically the guy that decides on all that, it is possible you might. But yeah, congratulations, mate. Well done.
Cheers, thank you.
Been a very, very good, strong season. You've had to deal with some very fast drivers like Jardinho and Whoopi, so you're consistent and very fast yourself. So well done. Gaz, I want to come to you. Without a doubt, you'd be my driver of the day today if you didn't have a penalty. So I can't give it to you, unfortunately. But what could have been.
You and your stupid rules.
Congratulations on Peter. It's a very good rule, if you drive fairly, you won't get a penalty. So,
You're such a dick.
Well, that's a penalty. You can't call the contact. Right.
I ain't fighting for anything, so you hand the penalties out.
Right, congratulations anyway, mate, on P2.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Nice comments there from...
I haven't paid any attention to the championship. I didn't realise Massey was fighting for the championship, I probably wouldn't have pulled that move on him if I knew that. I'd have felt terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good race. I struggle on this game in the rain, and you know it showed in quali. I just can't get to grips with it.
Well, you stuck intermediates on full wet conditions. You're bound to be a bit slow.
Yeah, one more lap though, I'd have been brilliant.
You would, yeah, one more. You'd been flying. But,
One more, yeah.
Yeah, it got down. I think the last lap, the last one on Inters across the line was about a second off their PB on that last lap. So, but it was drying so fast at the end. But yeah, so yeah, but fair play on P2, mate. Made the most positions up to date. So you had a grand race. And who knows? I don't actually decide to drive of the day tonight. I give out my sort of comms one, but it's only one vote. You might still win it in a Discord. We shall see. Whoopi, come to you as today's race winner, mate. You made the right decisions at the right time. Your overtakes on the restart were absolutely fantastic. Yeah. What I was going to say, you strolled after that.
Yeah. Well, I got lucky with the timing for my pit stop. I think it was like lap 17 the safety car came out or something. So I got lucky. But
Yeah.
I made the most of it with the mediums. Because obviously they're better race tyre later on. And
Yeah.
it proved to help a lot.
Definitely. I think, though, I mean, I didn't expect you to literally get both of them within 3 corners of the restart, but, I think it was important, though, for you to get past them quite quickly, before you get stuck in the dirty air and, and
Yeah,
start going a bit quick.
that's why I was struggling on the hards to get past. I think it was Junkie. I was stuck behind him for around, I think, 15 laps or something. It's just impossible to overtake, especially when you're in a train.
Yeah.
So I think crucially getting past them in the first couple of turns
Yeah.
was probably the reason I won.
Yeah. I think that was probably the vital part of the race that I would say actually won it for you. It's say the safety car came out for you just at the right time, but it also the first safety car was ideally timed for the people that started on mediums as well. So it was a double-edged sword, really. But yeah, and I think Gaza, I think you can sort of agree to sort of back up the fact that it's really difficult once you're in a train to actually get past anyone.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
I'll
forget how long I was looking at the back of Whale and Massey's car. I was got so pissed off looking at the back of them too. I was like, wouldn't one of you just move? Like, nah.
Have Ineos tattooed on your brain.
Yeah, it was, but it was a really enjoyable race, and Hungary in the Dry is one of my favourites. So yeah. It was a good race. I enjoyed that.
It's a real driver's circuit, and I think it's always an enjoyable one. So, yeah, fair play, guys. Well done to everybody else. Yeah, well done to everybody else that finished this evening as well. Other than that, guys, to everybody, I'll be back, by the way, tomorrow. Oh God, I sounded like Arnold Schwarzenegger then. I'll be back tomorrow night for the other league I do, GRL, and that's at 8 PM. So I'll see you then. Other than that, good night. God bless. Enjoy what's left of your weekends. Thank you ever so much to everybody that's followed along with me tonight. I know there's been a lot of you out there, and Vice and Reese and that who's kept me entertained in the chat. So thank you very much, guys. But that's it for this evening. Good night. God bless.
Yeah, well done.